You don't overthink because you think too much. You overthink because your brain doesn't feel safe enough to stop. You replay conversations that already ended. You rewrite things you said, things you didn't say, things you should have said. And it's not random, it's precise. It's like your mind is scanning for something, a hidden mistake, a signal you missed, a moment where everything quietly went wrong. You tell yourself you're just being careful, but it doesn't feel like control, it feels like pressure, like your mind refuses to release you. Most people think overthinking is about anxiety. It's not, it's about prediction. Your brain is trying to simulate the future by dissecting the past, because somewhere along the way, you learned that one small mistake could cost you something important: respect, connection, safety. So now your mind does something subtle but powerful. It assumes that if you analyze enough, you can prevent pain before it happens. But here's the part no one tells you. The more your brain tries to solve uncertainty, the more it creates it. Because now every situation feels like a test you might fail. And your mind, it never stops grading you. This isn't weakness, it's adaptation. From a psychological perspective, overthinking is a form of hypervigilance. Your brain is trying to protect you from emotional threat. Not physical danger, but rejection, embarrassment, being misunderstood, being seen the wrong way. And if you look closely, overthinking isn't chaos. It's structured. It follows patterns. You overanalyze tone, you decode silence, you anticipate reactions before they happen. Why? Because your brain learned that emotional outcomes weren't always predictable. So it created a system, a mental surveillance loop. Even Carl Jung spoke about this in a different way. He described how the mind compensates for what feels unstable by creating internal control. Not because it works, but because it feels safer than not trying. And in that sense, overthinking is not your flaw. It's your mind trying to outthink pain. But there's something deeper happening, something quieter. Overthinking isn't just about control, it's about trust. Or more specifically, the lack of it. Not just trusting other people, but trusting your own experience, your own reactions, your own instincts. So instead of feeling your way through life, you try to calculate your way through it. Like if you just think hard enough, you won't get hurt. But here's the cost. You never fully arrive in the moment, because part of you is always outside of it, watching, analyzing, preparing for impact. And slowly, almost invisibly, life becomes something you observe instead of live. The Stoics understood this in a different language. Seneca once warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Overthinking is that suffering loop. Not because your thoughts are wrong, but because they never end. So here's the shift, the one that changes everything. You don't need to stop overthinking. That's not how this works. Trying to force your mind into silence just gives it something new to fight. Instead, you need to understand what your overthinking is trying to do. It's trying to protect a version of you that once felt unsafe being wrong, being seen, or not being enough. And here's the truth most people never realize. You're not trapped in overthinking. You're trapped in the belief that thinking is what keeps you safe. The moment that belief loosens, your mind doesn't need to grip as tightly. Because safety was never in the thinking. It was in the permission to not solve everything, to not predict everything, to not control how every moment unfolds. And maybe the real shift is this. You don't need to trust your thoughts more. You need to trust yourself without needing them. So next time your mind starts replaying everything, pause. Not to stop it, but to notice it. Because awareness is the first moment you step outside the loop. And quietly, that's where change begins. If this felt familiar, comment loop below. Because sometimes the first step out is realizing you were never the only one inside it.